I needed the emergency room. The last week of summer was messed up. My uncle said he was going to take us to Great Adventure at 6 a.m. I was ready, but he didn't show up because his car broke down. Instead, he took us to Fort Dix. I walked to the pool. I was talking to the lifeguard. I work Friday and Saturday, he said. I said, am I supposed to make my pool schedule around your work schedule? He said, it'd be worth your while. These military men think they're so sexy. Me and my auntie drove to the PX in Dad's car, but the car broke down. It's embarrassing enough to be driving an AMC Gremlin, much less driving a broke-down AMC Gremlin. Why do our family's cars always break down? After the breakdown, I went into what turned out to be the barracks. I called my dad on their payphone. Thank God I had change of $1. How did I get in Army barracks wearing hot pants? Well, no soldiers were there. Two guys passed me in the car. The driver said he could take me where I wanted to go. What a gentleman. Back at Dad's bungalow, I called Karima's house, and she said my other aunt had left an hour and a half ago. I wanted to tell her about Fort Dix and how my mother's car broke down and caught fire on Route 22. I took my little cousin to see Apple Dumpling Gang. I thanked Jesus when that movie was over. That movie was torture. I was so bored. I was so distraught when I got home. I ate 10 pecan sandies, 7-Up, and a bag of Dipsy Doodles. Then I fell to the ground. I needed the emergency room for exploding stomach-itis. Then I played Earth, Wind, and Fire Fantasy on the piano, then laid out my clothes for the first day of school. I was 15. I was walking back from the swimming pool at Fort Dix Military Base in my yellow and black bikini. I heard somebody do a bikini whistle at me. I was kind of glad he whistled at me, but I was mad too. I turned and saw a black GI sitting under the shade of a tree. He was cute. How dare he? I kept walking. I walked to the mess hall to get a cold drink. A young man was mopping the floor. His mop broke and he started cussing. A middle-aged lady said to the guy, "Don't use that language." She was chubby. She was the cashier, and she had a net on her head. Then she pointed her eyes at me. "Don't use that language because somebody around here might have virgin ears," she said. They looked at me. The guy fixing his broken mop looked up at me and he said, "Do you have virgin ears?" I touched my ears. "No," I said, sipping my iced tea. "I don't have virgin ears." But I hugged myself because I didn't want to talk about my other parts. My father let me drive his car on the turnpike for practice. He sat in the passenger seat. He told me who in our family had hysterectomies. Then he told me who can't read. We went over to Aunt Hattie's house on 14th Street. I hate going to old people's house I don't know. It's so boring. Then we went to my cousin's house under the Pabst Blue Ribbon bottle. My cousin told me she snuck into bingo at the Catholic Church. You're supposed to be over 18, she's 16. She wore makeup, she said, to look 2 years older, and walked in serious, not to look like a teenager. My dad lives in a bungalow at Fort Dix. The divorced officers live in the bungalows. We went to eat at the officers' mess hall. There are a lot of black people in the Army. Dad said he went to meet with feminist Gloria Steinem in New York. He's the public relations officer for the Army. He used to take the media people to the Four Seasons for lunch, courtesy of Uncle Sam, of course. Miss Steinem and Ms. Magazine did a story on women in the military. DC was thrilled with the article, and my dad got a glowing review. But Human Resources sent the review back to my dad's white supervisor. You weren't supposed to give reviews like that to a black man. I told my brother to stay on his side of the couch because the cushion represents the property line. You cannot let your leg touch that property line because the couch, there's two sections to the couch, the boys section of the couch and the girl section of the couch. And the boys section is where people that got cooties sit and that needs to wear deodorant. You sit on the boys section and don't come to the girl section because your breath smells like Doritos. We were over my dad's house because we had something called fatherhood custody. That's what you have after divorce. And your father comes and gets you and takes you to his house. And y'all eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and you watch HBO. Mom was trying to talk to Dad about child support, but she was smiling, but I felt like she wasn't smiling on the inside. She was just smiling on the outside.